Thank you, Akko. Thank you, Rosina, for tuning in. Thank you, Baro, for joining in. Thank you, Mortis, for joining in. It's a very sad day. Thank you, Morning, for joining in. Thank you for tuning in. It's absolutely a very sad day in the people of Southern Cameroon. It is absolutely a sad day, a very devastating day. I don't know how about you feeling, but it is quite devastating. Greeting, brothers. Greetings to our Mr. Paul. Greetings. It is absolutely a sad day in the people of Southern Cameroon. The people of Ambazonia. It is absolutely a I'm sorry, the word can't even come out. Absolutely. It's terrifying. It's terrifying. It's terrifying. It's absolutely terrifying. I can't even hold my breath. I can't even hold my breath. Thank you, Andine, for joining in. Thank you. Oh, yeah. Thank you. I mean, it's terrible. It's terrifying. I can't even hold my breath. It is absolutely terrifying. Fellow brothers, it is absolutely terrifying. I mean, imagine a market. Imagine a market. A market where women sell their food. And this market, La Republique has not contributed to their market. This is women that are basically borrowing money from their individual, what they call Njagi house. And they manage to invest in their little market. And the terrorist government of La Republique military will deliberately burn the fruit. Imagine vegetable. I mean, it's absolutely terrifying. It's absolutely terrifying. But let me first start with this video. You just listen. It's an audio. I want you to listen. It's in French. You may not be able to understand the content of the message. That is a pre-hash plan by La Republique du Cameroun. I mean, we're going to go slowly and gradually. Let's take one step at a time. This audio is the pre-hash plan by the neighboring country, La Republique du Cameroun. The essence of this audio that I'm going to play is in French. You may not understand the content of the message, but the message is clear. The concept of this message is that they're going to kill children, especially the boys, from the age 8 years and above. So the concept in this audio that I'm going to play is in French. The concept and the message that they are hashing the plan is to execute young boys from the age 8 years and above. And the purpose of destroying or killing 8 boys and above is to prepare the land for the Betis and the Boulous and the Yaoundé to be able to convert it into their own territory. I mean, let me play the audio. You might not understand, but someone will be able to interpret to you.
Je dis qu'on va faire qui partent là-bas, rester pour le bon. Oui. Je ne te comprends pas bien.
On dit qu'actuellement, on a demandé aux pays de tuer tous les
On a demandé tout le vieux, si on tue même, c'est le vieux.
Et on laisse seulement les veuves et les orphelins, les bébés.
On laisse seulement le bébé.
On va les demander de changer de province, on construit leur village.
On change le province, on construit leur village.
Comme on va construire là, ne sont plus les anglophones, on les interdit de ne pas passer là-bas. On va envoyer les zéwundo, les boules, les
On envoie les zéwundo.
Tout ça, on les installe là-bas, les francophones. Sachant que les anglophones vont exister seulement partout, sauf chez eux.
Les anglophones n'ont pas habité ailleurs, sans chez eux.
Sauf les anglophones.
J'ai dit, le père, qui t'a dit ça?
Donc là-bas, on appelle ça.
Je dis qu'on va faire qu'ils partent là-bas.
So that is the plan of the neighboring country, La Republique, that they're going to kill children from 8 years, especially the boys. They're going to execute boys from 8 years and above. And the Anglophones, the few ones that are allowed, that will be existed, will be transported to the French territory and transport the Zewundo to our own territory, so that the Anglophone completely wipe out. That is the concept of that video that I just played. And that is why the continual massacre is going on now in the southern Cameroon territory. Look, it's terrifying. I am let the world know that we have a war. We have an enemy that we are facing now. So we are at war. So we are facing war. And I believe that the solution to this is to cut the Mongo Bridge. This is absolutely necessary. We need to cut the Mongo Bridge. And that is why I am asking all our scientists, if you are reside any part of the world, we need to bring our own technology. We need to bridge that Mongo Bridge. We need to cut that Mongo Bridge, and any link between La Republique, we need to cut it off. This is serious. We can no longer tolerate this rubbish. Let's get together. The Mongo Bridge, we need to bring it down. And that we start eliminating whoever La Republique that is residing in our territory. This is serious. Because it's painful and devastating. We can no longer be tolerant to this La Republique. And therefore, if you are a scientist, wherever you are in this around the planet, please, we need to consult with you. You need to make yourself available. Because we got to get this done right away. We got to separate us. Because the way, you can't imagine that the plan they are planning is to kill children from 8 years and above. And immediately transport all the Anglophone to the Francophone territory. And in doing so, bring the Francophone to replace the Anglophone territory. And so that the Anglophone in the future, and that is what has been in the plan since the 56 years. And that is why all the governors, all the divisional officers, all medical professions are Francophones. And that is the plan we've been talking long ago. That is the plan. They have been planning long ago. And that is why they just reveal it. And this audio. Let me get something. You might not be able to see it clearly. This is the Bamenda Central Market this morning. The Bamenda food market. This is the women that arrived this morning and realized that the basic food stuff that they have kept, they have bought, and find that they were petroleum were by the military, that they took petrol and sprayed around the fruit and lit it up and allowed the fruit to burn in ashes. This is the most cruel, the worst cruel regime that we have ever seen on this planet. Remember, these women, you can understand if you have had your mother struggling in this experience. We all know, except you were one of those rich persons, that your family were blessed. But if you understand how this mother are struggling to get food on their children, these mothers, how they struggle, how they manage to get food on their table to feed their little children. Some goes to borrow money from the little jangi and able to put on this in their little investment. Basically, it might be just 20,000 francs CFA. They travel to the local market to buy basic food stuff, and they use it to sell in the market to be able to feed in the children that they live with. And the terrorist government of La Republique military just came in and burned the entire fruit in the food market. I mean, this is the worst thing that you can ever find in this planet. That is the worst thing that you can ever experience on this planet. That is why I am telling you that if you are a Southern Cameroon and you are an engineering, it doesn't matter what it feels. If you chemical, if you whatever, we need to get together. We need to terminate La Republique out of our territory. This is the moment that we no longer condone with La Republique. This is the moment we will no longer condone with La Republique. If you are an engineer, whatever capacity you are, then we need to get together. Because this is the moment that we will no longer be condoned with La Republique. This is the moment we will no longer be condoned with La Republique. This, as you see, part of the market is still burning. Part of the market is still burning. Food market. Part of the food market is still burning. Imagine, look, these are basic food stuff. For those of you who knows the Bamenda food market, and you can imagine the Bamenda food market, that a military will deliberately bought gas to burn the food stuff that are being used to feed the local community. I mean, it's absolutely, to be honest, if this is the devastating that one can never experience. And for those who think that we have to have a relationship with La Republique, you are on the wrong side of the planet. You are on the wrong side of the planet. This is the continued burning. As this image, you may not be able to see it. I post it on my Facebook in case you don't have access. It's painful. It's painful.
I'm happy to.
So, these ones are the women in Bali. These are the women in Bali. Those are the women that their children were killed by La Republique. So they just simply, they have now realized that their children, they no longer be able to identify them. So that is in Bali. That are the women that their children were spread with chemical weapons and killed naturally. And when I remember when I broadcast on my YouTube about this action, they went ahead and burnt those children, 39, whether it's 39 or 34 in number. They went ahead and used fuel and burned those images. That is the most cruel act of behavior. Look, it's time. It's time we terminate the Mongo Bridge. The Mongo Bridge that is linking us, it's time that we use whatever bomb, whatever we can produce, then cut the bridge off so that we eradicate whoever is residing, because we have asked them to leave our territory and let our people live in peace. We let La Republique leave our territory and let our people live in peace. That is all we need. We do not want La Republique in our territory. Let our people live in peace. Let our people have their children and that they can grow up and be proud of their children. We do not need La Republique in the Southern Cameroon territory. It's time. It's time. It's time. Let people have their children. This is children that they have. It's children that are going to help them when they grow up. That is the reason why you have children. So that you believe that at one point in your life, they're going to stand and help you. But we have a terrorist government of La Republique that is eliminating our children. And that is the people that they're going to be stand by for you. Given our cultural context, we believe that our children should be able to help us. And after we realize that they have reached a certain age, and a terrorist government that people we invited in our home want to claim that they know our home more important than our own people, then it's time we need to let go of the Republic. It's time we need to let go. It's time. It's time. And this is what I am serious about, is that any engineer of the Southern Cameroon, wherever you are in this world planet, we need to get together. Let's terminate the bridge. Let's cut it off. Let's bomb the thing and eliminate La Republique out of our territory. That is enough. That is enough. That is enough. Let's get rid of La Republique out of our Southern Cameroon. The governor's office, let's blow it off. Let's blow it off. I mean, it's absolutely painful. I don't see why we should have La Republique in our territory. In no terms should we have La Republique. In no terms in our territory. In no terms. That is the time that we need to get together and use all our available scientific and technology that we have in our mind. Let's build it together and get La Republique out of our territory once and for all. Then we can now concentrate on what the little we have left over. Then we start building from scratch. I think the time is time to act. It's not time to be sleeping. It's not time to be slumber. It's not time to be frowning. Because we have asked world community. We have pleaded with world community. It seems they don't have time to collaborate. And since the world community is not time to collaborate, then it's time for us to take our own unilateral action. We have the brain. We have people that are capable. It's also a matter that we get together and bring our knowledge we have acquired. We have been in all the various scientific education around this globe. But we can do something if we come together. And that is why I am speaking here that it's time we get rid of La Republique by exterminate the bridge that link the Mongo, terminate every linkage that link the Southern Cameroon. We got enough of La Republique. For those who choose to be romancing with the system, I got a good news for you. Please. For those, the SDF, for those SDF that is still participating in La Republique, what they call the parliament, I got a good news for you. It's time to relinquish any bridge, any relationship that you have with La Republique. And if you do not resign and terminate your relationship with La Republique, then you will be a casualty of the people of Southern Cameroon. For those SDF, because you are not the bearer of the people of Southern Cameroon. That is enough. That is enough. For those who are still bearing the flag of SDF, terminate your resignation, because we cannot be having our children are being murdered by a terrorist government, and we are sitting down and claim that you are part of the Southern Cameroon because you pay more your attention to your own personal self rather than indigenous people that are being slaughtered in and out. For those SDF, for those who claim and that they're still part of the system, I urge you to listen to these messages and take extra precaution and terminate your relationship with La Republique. If you think that we are going to be romancing with you, then you will be on the other side of the page, because we can no longer have our children that we believe should represent us when we get old, and that we have a terrorist government that is continuing to exterminate our young children, and as well as describing how they're going to achieve their goal. They're going to terminate every children, and they're going to use the military they have and kill every children from 8 years and above, and transfer all the citizens of the Southern Cameroon to the neighboring country, to their own home, so that they can transfer their own citizens and start exterminating the Southern Cameroon. It's over my dead body, over the people of Southern Cameroon. It's time we get rid of La Republique. For those who think that there's going to be a bridge between the Southern Cameroon and La Republique, then we've got a good news for you. We are serious about it. We did not intend to carry on vandalism. But if that is the option that we can do and to achieve our goal, then we have no option to do so. Because we will preserve our children. Because our children is a pride to our nation. It's a pride to our nations. It's a pride to our nations. You can see, this is the burning that is currently going on. That's the burning of our people. That is the destroy of our people. These are the children that were massacred in Bali. I have all those images on my Facebook. In case you have difficulty to watch here because I can't portray them exactly as it is, then they are on my Facebook. Fellow brothers, fellow sisters, we are at war. I know we're capable to inflict. We have knowledge of the topography of our land. We have knowledge of the topography of our land. And we know how we can take. Let's cause the worst damage to La Republique as they keep on penetrating into our territory. Let's give the worst atrocity to every member of La Republique that penetrate into our Southern Cameroon. Let's start by eliminating the governor's office, because that is where they think they have the command to make whatever control. We have reached the point where we can designate and destroy that the governor's office, because when we eliminate the governor's office, then the next time we start every little whatever it is, because we are capable to do so. We have asked La Republique to leave completely our territory. Let's eliminate the governor's office, because that's the target that we have to do it. We're capable to do so. We have the ability, and that is why I am requesting that every Southern Cameroon scientist, wherever you are, bring the technology. Let's assemble it together. Let's assemble it together. Because we are waiting for the world community. They are still holding, whether they are still thinking about it. They are asking La Republique to decide on our behalf, as though we are not capable to make our decision on our people. If we can make decision on our people, they are asking La Republique to make us a decision and report to the United Nations. Then it's time we tell the United Nations that we do not need United Nations. We are capable to carry our own action. We are capable. We are capable to take our own drastic action. You cannot see the world body that is the most corrupted system that one ever have on this planet. I can imagine the United Nations, the most corrupted individual that we have on this planet. The most corrupted individual. They call Antonio Guterres. The most corrupted individual. And that is why when you see chaotic scene going around the world, it's because they are having a dinner with those dictatorship. They're having part of the share and ignore the indigenous people for their freedom. And that is the world, the United Nations, that one was expect them to be more vibrant and peace and security around the world. But unfortunately, they are the most corrupted organization that we have on the planet. They are not as different from the FIFA organizations. Give me a minute. Remember, you all know what happened to the FIFA. FIFA was the most corrupted organization on the planet. FIFA was more corrupt than one has ever expected. It took the Attorney General of the United States. It took the Attorney General of the United States. The Attorney General of the United States indicted the FIFA organization. And once they were indicted, many of them were picked up and arrested. Some are in jail, some have been sentenced. And today, the FIFA organization is much better as what it was before. I think it's time that the United States need to take extra decisions and indict, because you all heard, even you, Donald Trump, condemn that FIFA is the most corrupt, United Nations is the most corrupted organizations. I don't know if I have his message here. Let me see.
And prosperity. Too often the focus of this organization has not been on results, but on bureaucracy and process. In some cases, states that seek to subvert this institution's noble aims have hijacked the very systems that are supposed to advance them. For example, it is a massive source of embarrassment to the United Nations that some governments with egregious human rights records sit on the UN Human Rights Council. The United States is one out of 193 countries in the United Nations, and yet we pay 22% of the entire budget and more. In fact, we pay far more than anybody realizes. The United States bears an unfair cost burden, but to be fair, if it could actually accomplish all of its stated goals, especially the goal of peace, this investment would easily be well worth it. Major portions of the world are in conflict, and some, in fact, are going to hell. But the powerful people in this room, under the guidance and auspices of the United Nations, can solve many of these vicious and complex problems. The American people hope that one day soon the United Nations can be a much more accountable and effective advocate for human dignity and freedom around the world. In the meantime, we believe that no nation should have to bear a disproportionate share of the burden militarily.
That is the President of the United States is speaking that United Nations is housing the most brutal dictatorship because of the kickback mechanism. Kickback mechanism is what the United Nations, especially the current United Nations, is as we have. Is the most corrupted that receive kickback. Because as I'm speaking, in the La Republique, a neighboring country, the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees is receiving double salary. One salary paid by La Republique and another salary paid by the United Nations. While the slaughtering is going on in Southern Cameroon, she absolutely remains silent as though nothing is happening. And the murdering continues. Because she is receiving double salary. She's receiving salary paid by the host government and another salary paid by La Republique. And that is why you see the murdering and the slaughtering on the people of Southern Cameroon has nothing to do with the United Nations. They wouldn't even allow the debate. They wouldn't even allow, because France, the architects of preventing. That is why we need to revise whether we should be part of the United Nations at all. It is absolutely a redundant organization that needs to be destroyed or dismantled altogether. Because the policy that has implemented within the current century is redundant. And we have our people have been constantly murdering and slaughtering in Africa and elsewhere around the world. Peace and security for the objective of this thing has failed completely. I think it's time we terminate La Republique out of Southern Cameroon. We got to terminate La Republique out of Southern Cameroon. Because if you've seen the images coming from, there is one person that I need to show the video. This morning at Ekona, fellow brothers at Ekona, we stand together with you. We understand the bleeding that you are experiencing that is coming from La Republique du Cameroun. Fellow people of Ekona, I understand, because I can imagine how you can stand and feel your own dad that is bleeding to death, and you are watching, and you expect me to stand and say we should remain with La Republique du Cameroun over my dead body. Listen to this video and you can hear a regurgitation. How children are regurgitate when their parents, their father, has been shot by La Republique terrorist army and he's been regurgitate his death, and it can be very devastating. I am going to show you. You may not be able to see clearly, but the pain and the feeling is going to be devastating. It happened last night. That's the painful feeling. That's the painful bleeding that some is parents in front of their children. That is the worst nightmare, that you will believe that you have reached a stage where your children should be able to protect you, but you reach at the point where you have to bleed on your own natural death that has been inflicted by you by a foreign nation that has no legal authority over the people of Southern Cameroon. This is the worst nightmare, worst experience, that your own children are watching your own natural death, that you have been killed by the terrorist government of the neighboring country, La Republique du Cameroun. And you ask to let me know that I will have to collaborate with La Republique, and the world community is asking them to investigate itself and report to the community. This is the darkest world we have. This is the darkest world in this planet. The darkest world that they have enough factual information. The darkest world that one would never condone with this world. The current world we are is the most darkest world that we will never condone. When the world community asks the perpetrator to investigate itself and report to them what is happening. Because their employee, are living on the salary of this terrorist government of La Republique. And that is why it doesn't matter to them. They are asking them to investigate and report to them because they are overweight, they are obese. They are obese. When person become obese, obesity is a disease, or it's not a disease, but somebody that overweight. And when the person overweight, he can't move. He's condemned to live on one position. And that is why the world community is so obese in such a way that they are asking La Republique to investigate itself and report to them what is going on. And that is why the atrocity continues to be perpetrated against the citizens of the people of Southern Cameroon, as though they are not aware of the atrocity. Why should our people be bleeding to death in this environment? Why should our people deserve something better. Our people deserve a life of their own. They deserve a place that they will call home. They deserve a place that they can live and breathe the natural air. That is the home that we all respect. That is the world the people need to have. A quiet environment that is suitable for every citizen of the Southern Cameroon, because we deserve something better. But yet we have the world community asking that we need to contact the perpetrator. The perpetrator, La Republique, need to investigate itself and report to the United Nations. You all know what happened in Britain. When the British court declared itself incompetent to preside over the hearing on the case about the Southern Cameroon. Because Britain breached the contract. If Britain were mandated by the United Nations to supervise the people of Southern Cameroon, and therefore, if Britain choose to take the document and hand over instead to the people of Southern Cameroon, it hand over to the neighboring country, La Republique, as though they cannot trust us. They trust more the La Republique than our own people. That is what the British do. They trust their own, they trust a neighboring country. They've been dealing with the people of Southern Cameroon. British have been dealing with the people of Southern Cameroon and not La Republique. But at the end of our document, they submit to La Republique because they trust La Republique more than our own people. That is the British government. That is the British embassy. That is the British government. And now our people are bleeding. And their court declared itself incompetent to hear a matter that is related to United Nations, the most corrupted organization we currently have on the planet. I wish we have the United Nations, I wish we have Democrats at the White House. That is the painful expression. Because in Kosovo, the same crisis was going on in Kosovo. Bill Clinton took a drastic action when the Kosovo crisis erupted, when the military slaughtered citizens, as the La Republique is doing on the Southern Cameroon. It takes extra decision of Bill Clinton, the president of the United States, and terminate the relationship, and those individuals are held in jail. Today, peace is ringing in Kosovo. Today, peace is ringing in Kosovo. Our people are not. I think you will applaud, you will appreciate that Bill Clinton took extra decisions that he made and terminate that relationship. And today, the people of Kosovo appreciate what was done by Bill Clinton. Can the United States stand against all the barbaric act? Can the United States government, can State Department stand for barbaric act? Can U.S. Department of Defense stand against the barbaric act? I think the United States is capable to do it. It's not time to ignore. It's time to take action. It takes 2 barrels of U.S. military guns to be dropped in Yaoundé and terminate that relationship. And they will understand what it is. The order is coming from as the clique that surround Bia, because Bia is mentally incoherent. One will expect that Bia is the one making those decisions. It's the people surrounding him. Because Bia personally, he doesn't even know his own surrounding. Paul Bia doesn't even know his own surrounding. He's suffering from psychological disorder, mentally challenged, depression, and he doesn't know his own environment. He can't recall where he left his room. He has to be directed back to his room. But the decision that is made about the atrocity that is going on in the southern Cameroon is made by the Betis, the Bulus, and one ex-convict of La Republique of the southern Cameroon, Atanganji. I can assure you that Bia is mentally incoherent. He doesn't remember where he left his room. He doesn't remember where he's in the Unity Palace, whatever it is called. He doesn't remember to walk back to his room. He's often been directed to his room because he's suffering from psychological disorder, mental incoherent. Because at the moment you can't express him, you can't visualize him give a statement. He can't give a statement. He can't even address a nation. He has few words because that few words has been crammed overnight before he can even express it. That is why he's not even allowed to talk in the public. Pobia is not even allowed to even talk in the public because the control, they want him to expose that he's mentally incoherent. But we have people surrounding him, the defense minister, the director of national security, the gendarmerie. Those are the people that control this atrocity that is going in southern Cameroon. But it's a matter of time. That is why I'm urging all our brothers, wherever you are, if you are in high technological field, for engineering, chemical, whatever you can do, you need to consult us so that we get to terminate the relationship. Let's cut the Mongo Bridge. Let's terminate the Mongo Bridge immediately. Every bridge, the bridge in Santa that link Western Province and Southern Cameroon, the bridge should be terminated. Yes. We have to. Every exit in and exit out need to be terminated. And every village to village get rid of, block every aspect. And the technology that is used in Manfe, we need to transfer the technology everywhere in the Southern Cameroon territory. We need to transfer the technology. That is the plan moving forward. We got to let La Republique go. We got to let La Republique go. We got to let La Republique go. So every bridge, every linkage, we have to terminate any linkage. The Santa Bridge that link the Southern Cameroon. Because do you know that the Santa Bridge that link the Western Province and Southern Cameroon, they still have the custom gate that is still there. For those of you who travel, do you still notice that the custom gate is still there? Because there are two separate nations that are living together. They still have the custom gate in Santa. If you haven't noticed, it still exists today. And so that bridge that links Western Province and Santa should be terminated so that not exit into the Southern Cameroon territory. The Mongo Bridge that links Littoral and Southwest should be terminated. And so we can breathe a natural air. Because their plan, we are far ahead of their plan. We got to let La Republique go. We will no longer be condoned with La Republique. Fellow brothers and sisters, the death toll of our citizens is enough. It is enough that we take unilateral action against La Republique. Since we have pleaded with the world community, they haven't decided yet. But we got to take plan and do it. ourselves. We don't want La Republique entirely in our family association. La Republique is terminated. We do not want La Republique in the Southern Cameroon territory. So we got to, first of all, eliminate the governor's office. Let's destroy the governor's office. Wherever they are, destroy. We are capable to destroy the governor's office. Eliminate them all. Let's get them out of the Southern Cameroon territory. We cannot longer be condoled with them. We can no longer be condoled with them. Article 1608 of the United Nations Charter recognize us as a sovereignty. Why can our people not live and manage their territory? Why should they be managed by another external country? Because our people are not capable to do so. No. Brothers and sisters, we got to let La Republique go. We got to let La Republique go. Absolutely. In no terms, we can live together with La Republique. It's time, let's let go. And we can build ourselves to the way we want it to be. Hello, brothers and sisters. We got to let La Republique go. The Mongo Bridge, we got to terminate the bridge. The Mongo Bridge, we got to terminate. That they don't have access to the Cameroon, to the Southern Cameroon territory. Any railroad, cut the railroad. No railroad, nothing that link La Republique with the Southern Cameroon. The Santa Bridge should be terminated. We are capable. Let's apply the technology and let our engineer to be able to consult. Let's terminate. We got it. We can't be having. I mean, take a listen. Take a listen. Take a listen. Take a listen. Take a listen from the military of La Republique. When you watch this and you are letting me know that I should be condoled with La Republique as you watch this, and you are telling me that we should be able to bargain with La Republique on our people, our sovereign people, our territory. No. I said no. I said no. We got to terminate the relationship and we got to destroy. First, we got to take off the governor's office out of the Southern Cameroon territory. This is what we're going to do. But I am not going to say it how we're going to do it, but we got to take out the governor's office. We take out the governor's office. Every effigy of La Republique in Southern Cameroon from tomorrow, terminate every effigy, every statue of La Republique in Southern Cameroon, every flag that stands with the color of La Republique, terminate in Southern Cameroon. Burn every flag of La Republique in Southern Cameroon from tomorrow. Every effigy, because we cannot be tolerant to this. Every effigy of La Republique in Southern Cameroon need to be burned down and terminated immediately. Every effigy, any statue identify La Republique in Southern Cameroon, wherever it is, we got to terminate it. Every effigy of La Republique in Southern Cameroon territory from tomorrow. As you go back to bed tonight, and if you have ever identified an effigy that portrays La Republique in Southern Cameroon, tomorrow, before you even get to destroy it at midnight, every effigy that identifies La Republique in Southern Cameroon territory, we got to destroy it. Absolutely. We got to destroy it. We got to destroy it. That is enough. We got to destroy it. For those who are fighting about position, our problem is not about position. For those who are more concerned about position is not a priority. Position is the last thing we need. We want to have our people be in peace so that we can sleep and have a breathe a natural air. Because if our people cannot breathe the natural air, as you can watch in this evening, then you will not be sleeping in your bed, wherever you are. You know? Our people, you will not be sleeping. And so therefore, we got to terminate La Republique. So every effigy, every status that bear La Republique in Southern Cameroon territory, got to be destroyed it. Every status that bear La Republique in the Southern Cameroon. If you see any status, make sure you destroy it. No status of La Republique in Southern Cameroon territory. The governor's office, we will bring a strategic plan that we gotta blow the thing off. We got to let La Republique go. We got to let La Republique go. We got to let it go. We got to let it go. So any effigy of La Republique in Southern Cameroon territory that you watch, you see, wherever you be part of the momentum. We are together in this momentum. So wherever you see, destroy it before your even brother see it. Because he will destroy. The one coming behind will destroy that status. So we got to work together. We got to eliminate every effigy of La Republique in Southern Cameroon territory. We got to eliminate it. We got to eliminate every effigy. Whatever you see that bear the emblem of La Republique, then just destroy it. Just destroy it. From tomorrow, starting from today midnight. From today midnight and henceforth, every emblem that stands and portrays La Republique in Southern Cameroon territory got to be eliminated and destroyed. Because this is the time we will no longer be romancing with the system. This is the moment that we will no longer be bargaining with the system. Because we have asked the world that we can solve this amicably. But since the world want to see how we do it, then we got to do it. We got to do it. That is enough. That is enough. Our people cannot become animals that will be slaughtering indiscriminately. Fellow brothers and sisters, we are at war. The enemy is around, but we got to start eliminating them. I want to thank those who are in Manfe. They did a wonderful job. Extend the technology. Let's expand on the technology. Let's demonstrate. Let's expand on the technology. For those in Manfe, I congratulate you for the job well done. I stand with you together. We can overcome. Let's expand the technology. Let's invest on the technology. Let's invest on the technology. And let's get La Republique out of the Southern Cameroon. Let we make them know that each time they step into the Southern Cameroon, they are in the hazard environment. And that they will ever remember that Southern Cameroon is the wrong place, the wrong choice they have ever made in their life. We got to let them know that Southern Cameroon is the wrong place they have ever made in their choice to ever build relationship. We will no longer be condoled with them. We will no longer be condoled with them. You got to act smart. You got to act smart. Make sure you implement every action and put them in place and wait for them. And do not even leave around the environment. Once the trap, set up the trap. Because when you set the trap, make sure you stay within the vicinity of the trap. And make sure once the trap is caught, get the antelope and slaughter the antelope. The antelope, once you set the trap in the forest, and you're waiting for the buffalo or the antelope, once the trap picks the antelope, make sure that you slaughter the antelope immediately, because that is the way out. We can no longer be condoled with La Republique. We can no longer be condoled with La Republique. That is enough. That is enough. We will no longer be condoled with La Republique. So we plan. The first thing, we are capable. Let's expand on the technology, eliminate the governor's office. Once we eliminate the governor's office, we eliminate all the effigy of La Republique. Then we can move forward. Any effigy that identifies La Republique in Southern Cameroon territory, once you see it, you can't eliminate. Wait for your brother will do it. We get to work in collaborations. Peace must reign in our people. The love of our people must be expanded. We will no longer become a bleeding ground. We will no longer become a bleeding ground. We will no longer. Our nation will never be a bleeding ground. Our people must rise. We must rise above our enemy. We must rise above our enemy. Our enemy can never overcome us. For those who are choosing to be eating with La Republique, I can testify that you may be on the wrong side of the game. For those who choose, because there are certain individuals, they believe that they're going to be eating with La Republique and they're eating with Southern Cameroon, that with the hope that something going to get better with La Republique so that they can easily switch and navigate. Get ready on board, because there is not a moment that we're going to be a switching. Some people are still thinking whether they should be eating with La Republique and they're eating with Southern Cameroon. And so when they're doing both in both plates, so that when it fails here, they can easily switch here. No, we stand together as one people, one identity, unified in that La Republique will never penetrate us. Will never penetrate us. Fellow brothers and sisters, we are at war. When you see La Republique, you know you see your enemy. Because the enemy will never love you. Because if you can see the military burning fruit at the midnight, they went and took money from their pocket and bought fuel finger and spread on the vegetable in food market in Bamenda and allowed them to burn naturally. Guess what? They are poisonous in our home. La Republique is a poisonous in our midst. La Republique is a poisonous in our midst. If La Republique can go to the gas station and buy gas and come in the middle of the night where our food market, they take the gas and spread on the food market and burnt it. Why? Our people. That is why they declare VMO, they declare how do they call it? Those is in French. When they declare that you can't walk or whatever they do. Somebody help out. When they declare that no movement within a certain specific time, and they use that time to go and buy finger. For those who don't know what is finger is gas. So they go and buy finger and spread on the market food stuff at night and set it on fire. Then we have an enemy within our midst. La Republique is an enemy. La Republique is a poisonous in our territory. So we will use every avenue and restore peace in our territory. And so therefore, we are at war, fellow brothers and sisters. We are at war. The enemy can never overcome our people. So when you see any effigy of La Republique, wherever it is, you got to destroy it, because we will no longer be condoled with them. You got to destroy it. And that is why I still repeat, we got to find a way to get the Mongo Bridge down, the Sanda Bridge down. So we cut the linkage and we start eliminating any of them that is in our territory, because we got to separate. We got to let go of La Republique. Absolutely, we got to let go of La Republique. We got to let go. 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 Because if I continue to see this bleeding of my people, then I don't think I am in harmony with La Republique. When I see this bleeding, when I see these parents, when I see bleeding to his own death, then I felt it. I felt it right into my deep arteries. And I can imagine my artery cut, and that bleeding was bleeding. And in the front of my children, God forbid this. So we got to let La Republique go. It is absolutely, in no terms, we should be condoled with La Republique. That is the most poisonous that we are ever inherit by building this relationship. When you married, and you realize that the wedding is not functions, it's time to separate. Because when you leave that wedding, that it's going to change. Both of you are going to die naturally. So therefore, when you realize that the wedding is irrevocable, The wedding and the marriage is irrevocable. Since it's irrevocable, it's time to let go of the relationship so that both of you can survive and see what the future has for you. But if you persist that things gonna change, I guarantee you that no change gonna occur because the enemy is planning against you. Even though we stay that we think that we are living with our brothers, no, we are living with the enemy. We are living with the enemy. The enemy is La Republique. That is the people we are living. Because if La Republique can destroy the food market, and that has nothing to do to them. The food market. Fellow brothers and sisters, we are at war. Bali, we are together in this business. You got to know that for those who choose, if you are in Bali, and you choose to be dinner with La Republique, then I can assure you, for those that claim that there were some of the elites, it's time to put your money on the table. Let's get rid of La Republique. You can see the bleeding that is happening in the Southern Cameroon territory. You want to show that you are part of La Republique and that you're not going to be part of the momentum. And you want to hide yourself so that they know that you're one of the good guys. Bali, you got to come on board. Support the momentum. Provide the spirit of your brother's children back home. So that one day you're going to leave diaspora and then you're going to see them back home. Because if we allow the enemy, La Republique, in our territory, then we will not be able to see our brothers that we plan to see them. So it's time, let's go, come on board. It's time, let's come on board. Let's change the direction of your meeting. Because many villages, they do not want to speak about this problem on board. Because they have La Republique that is currently dinner in our... Because they want to be part of La Republique. We have some of them. They say they be former, whatever they call the former something. Former minister, former director, former this. And now they're here. If you are in whatever you are, and you think you were before, now you are in a different environment. You got to join the momentum. You got to join the momentum. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Mama me them, my brother them. I dey tell when I say we there for war. Now so where we there for war. We dey fight war. We get enemy where they inside our house, where they try to destroy our property, where they try to destroy our children, our picking them, where we don't born them. We leave our picking them, they don't grow today, they don't reach a certain level where they give us time for support so that we go we think say we get children where even if we are sick, we go call them, they will come help we. So now where we don't reach for this moment now so now time where we get to come together. Whether you there for Usai, whether you there for white man country, or you there for whatever you there for white man country, whether you there for Usai, you hide. And tell you now say we there for war now so because this La Republique where we see them so now people that don't come break our house. We remember say we never be married to La Republique. They come inside our house, kill our begin them, kill everybody that we get. So now you have to tell when I say, we there for war now so. So if you see anything that na La Republique, you need to destroy them. That is why I have to tell and say, from now so till tomorrow and to proceed. Anything where you see them, where it get marked for day, or we get some writing for day, or mark where they write for day, say na La Republique, say na the French people then. You have to destroy them. Because you got to imagine, say, our people, man, just say mommy, they go struggle, go play their small janky, and when they play their janky, they gather small money. They gather the small money, they go buy fruit. They can sell them for market. The reason why they sell them for market, I say they will take money, go buy chop there for picking them for house. They will take and pay picking their school fees. Then the La Republique military, they don't come now, destroy the market, take the things and burn them, go buy petrol, can't light them, can't spray them for midnight, and then burn the fruit them like in the farmers, like the farmers market. So now you have to bring and say, tell and say, we there for war. La Republique. So we get for destroy La Republique in our place. So when they plan and say we're gonna destroy that governor's office because we're gonna destroy because all that French people when they can't control how we're gonna live in our house, they're not gonna be capable. So Mama Mino at the town say we're there for war. If you do hear so, when you see Frenchman, knows an enemy waiting for our house. When you see any Frenchman, knows an enemy, because you can imagine that the military they can destroy our property. Brothers and sisters, it is imperative that we got to get on board together. So fellow brothers and sisters, if you are wherever you are, we need to apply our technology in place. So we got to get rid of La Republique du Cameroun. So if you see the bleeding that is occur, it's not going to end time soon, except we take drastic action. For those who already start applying the technology in Manfe, let's circulate the technology. Let's get rid of La Republique. We get very good topography of our land. We know, we master them very well. Let's get on board. The enemy gonna hear from us. I wish you all the best. Have a wonderful day. This is Fonton Daniel speaking. This is Fonton Daniel speaking here from the great state of Texas. I want to recapture that we get to eliminate the Mongo Bridge. Once we get rid of the Mongo Bridge, we get rid of the Santa Bridge, and then we can now concentrate on them in our home, because that is the way moving forward. I want to take a moment to thank all of you watching. God bless you. We shall overcome. This is Fonton Daniel speaking here from the great state of Texas, here in the United States.